Hey, Susan Finch here, your host today for CRM Radio, part of the Funnel Radio Network on funnelmediallc.com. So I'm really excited to have my friend and somebody that I turn to when I have questions about social media, and that would be Danielle Miller, who hails from Maui. And so we had to coordinate this to be the right time to catch her. Danielle, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Susan. This is really exciting. It's first thing in the morning here in Maui, so I'm ready to get going.
Cool. So Danielle's company is Miller Media Management, which is social media, socialmedia.com. And she makes everything simpler and takes all the pain away from you if you don't know how to do it. She also does a lot of live training sessions on Maui and throughout the islands over there that she is in such high demand. To get her on the show is a really big deal for me. So I'm very, very happy to have you here. And we're going to dive right in. We're talking about Facebook today. And for some of you guys might not think about it, especially at your bigger companies, don't leave it on the table. Facebook for B2B. And, you know, I love what you say is that social media is the end of the cold call for B2B. And I don't think they realize how much that's true. Do you want to expand on that?
Absolutely. That is a line where if you and I meet on the street and you tell me you have a business and you're doing business B2B, that you're always going to hear me say that because it's so true. What cold calling used to be is the method of collecting a bunch of people you thought you might want to do business with, and then literally picking up a phone and they have no idea who you are, and everything relies on that first 30 seconds of that phone call for you to make a great first impression. And at that point, they may hang up. You know, you may get a follow-up meeting, but it's really tough to make that great first impression in the first 30 seconds. So why I say that social media is the end of the cold call, especially for B2B businesses, is because you can start to warm the waters with companies well before you ever pick up that phone. So now when you're putting together that awesome list of people that you want to connect with, you can start going out onto their Facebook, their Instagram, their Twitter, and becoming one of their biggest fans, liking their posts, leaving them supportive comments. And every time you do that, you're doing it from your business profile. So without even consciously realizing it, these potential partners that you're trying to communicate with start to get that feel-good feeling about your company and your brand. So when you pick up the phone and call them,
I gotta tell you though, I want to add one more thing in there. The other thing it helps you do is you can read their tones and their hot buttons and things, so you're not sticking your foot in your mouth and offending them, missing what they're talking about, not understanding their business. You have the opportunity to quietly and tactfully research a little bit more what they're about, that even buying leads from a lead service that says, oh yeah, we've qualified these for you. You won't get that same information. I don't care how much you pay for them.
Oh, that couldn't be more true. And talk about two birds with one stone, right? We're all limited for time. So now you can do your research and leave a really good first impression in that same, 10-minute span a day where you're interacting with that company online.
Yep. So what I wanted to dispel is the myth that I know everybody thinks of Facebook for B2C. It's constantly B2C because that's where consumers hang out. That's where the purchasers hang out, which is, primarily the women. And unless we're getting into the big toys and stuff with the women, they're still going to say, no, you can't buy that. But that's B2C. But we're talking about enterprise level. Let's talk about big companies like the Salesforce companies, the lead gen companies, all of those that are behind the scenes that help us run our businesses. They think, oh, no, LinkedIn is where I go. Twitter is where I go. And they'll discount Facebook and especially Facebook advertising for that reason. So they're just, to me, leaving all of this customer relationship and potential on the table. What are your thoughts?
I couldn't agree more. Facebook has so many users that think about that person. So if your connection on this high level enterprise B2B relationship is going to be the manager at a company, let's say you're an event planning company, you provide AV solutions and you provide those to other businesses who hold corporate events, right? A really good example of B2B. if you are trying to target management level or event planners who work for large corporations, you can do that through Facebook advertising. You can target people who are part of large industry groups. So if they're part of the American Marketing Association, if they're part of the event planners industry associations, you can target those people with Facebook ads. And I don't know about you, but even at a corporate level, when the clock strikes 5 and I head home and I'm checking Facebook, work is always in the back of my mind. So if there was some fantastic opt-in gift that could help me do my job more efficiently that came across my Facebook newsfeed, even if I'm not sitting at work, I'm likely to try to opt in to get that gift. And now you have my email, and during work hours, you can email me, and it rolls from there.
Well, what I've found too is, okay, so I participate in some events with one of my clients, and the 3 people that are planning that event look for entertainment. They look for different things that could be useful for the event. They need printing for the event. They need different things. And what do we all do on Facebook a lot of times? It's, let's be honest, we envy. We envy what our friends and all the trips they're taking. No matter how many you take, you still like, oh, I want that. I want that. So, in the example of an event planner, to show a photo of this amazing event that captures the fantasticness of what you can do. I don't even know if that's a word, but to capture that and display it and just, to show people this could have been you and your event. And if I'm planning an event or I know I have to have some influence or make suggestions for it, that would have been really cool. I wonder what their prices are. I'm going to go find out about them because it's still in the back of my mind, which gets back to positioning for the venue. If I'm on Facebook, I position it different than I would LinkedIn, than I would Twitter. And you don't show any bias to any of these. You use whatever works best for any of your clients. And I know that because I've watched your campaigns be quite successful. So let's keep talking about those, B2B people that just think, no, I'll never reach them there.
Yeah. Well, first of all, one of my big things is, how can you say you'll never reach them there if you've never tried, right? So at least you have to give it a try. You have to do what I call the proof of concept. You have to prove that you can't reach them there by trying to do it. And 90% of the time, you're going to reach them. So unfortunately, you'll disprove your own theory. And with Facebook, you mentioned, yes, it would be fabulous to see this event that you envy come across your Facebook feed. And what Facebook does really well that I'm not seeing other networks do as well yet is be a place for you to host video. So take the exact same scenario, but now you're doing a video clip of the event that you did, or a video testimonial from somebody, or a quick time lapse of you setting up some big conference. These things are so powerful. And on Facebook, that action, when they autoplay in the newsfeed, totally captures your attention. So in that way, you can really begin to discover, hey, my business-to-business contacts that I am trying to reach on these other networks, on LinkedIn or on Twitter, turns out they're actually here on Facebook too. Because here's the thing, at this point, every business needs to have a Facebook page. It is the standard. And so they are there. They're there maintaining their page for their clients or customers. And they would love support along that journey, whether it be your likes, your comments, your shares, or send them a message. See if there's a way you guys can partner together. Doing lots of giveaways. Facebook is a great place to promote or do a giveaway. And if you can help this potential B2B partner serve their customer better, everybody wins in the end.
All right, so let's talk about advocacy too. We need to, because that's another problem. We're always looking for people to be our advocates. The people that are not our customers, we have not converted. We may never convert, but we have this hot lead. We know they're good. They're intelligent. They have a great following. They speak out. So what are you going to give them on Facebook that would make them want to talk about you on Facebook?
I see this in my own personal day-to-day life all the time. It is a priceless resource to have these advocates, these people who are your cheerleaders, who are your supporters, who are out there who might not buy services directly from you, but when somebody asks them for a referral, you're the first person who comes to their mind. And I meet a lot of those connections in Facebook groups. So being able to also bridge that gap between your personal Facebook account and your business presence on Facebook and end up in a Facebook group as your personal profile, making connections with people who will become your advocates. And all they want in return is the exact same thing. They want you to mirror that for them. Become their advocate. Be willing to refer them, support them, share industry knowledge. In essence, if this was somebody that you walked into a networking meeting with and you were trying to form a connection with them, you're not going to be asking for everything. First, the very first thing you can ever do that makes a fabulous first impression is say, how can I help you?
Yes. When
you start a relationship off like that, it's success from the start.
And that's across the board. That's in LinkedIn. That's everywhere. Yes. I've found I've met the nicest people actually through my Twitter list.
Yeah.
Where I will, target a whole bunch of people that are going to be speaking at a conference, and I'll look at that feed and I'll share their stuff out. And sometimes we will take that relationship to other venues, whether it's Facebook, on the light level, not always, the deep friend level, because, you can put them in the box and kind of tuck them away, or drive them directly to my brand page only. And I can make that decision like, here's a bunch of stuff. And I'm finding the more I can be of service, the more my business, the more my clients can all be of service to their potential advocates, their potential clients, their existing clients, the more apt they are to continue to build that huge level of authority and trust.
Oh, so true. And that's something great to keep in mind too, when you're coming up with whatever your subscriber gift might be, whatever you're using to entice people to join your email list. You don't have to think of it as, hey, let me pitch you my services in this gift, right? Like, hey, I'm going to tell you how you can't do this amazing thing I can do. Instead, if it's, I'm going to, right? Instead of it's something like, I'm going to help save you time in your day-to-day, like that is so appealing to anybody who has whether it's a corporate level job or they're just in a startup company. And so those are universal ideas that anybody can use. Tell me how to save me time doing something that relates to your industry. And there you go.
It's a basic marketing premise. Take away my pain.
Yeah.
Make me more money, take away my pain. And that's what it comes down to for everything. It has to solve one or both of those, or I don't want it. Even if you entertain me, you got to still handle those other things as well. But if you entertain me, I might share your stuff until you can take away my pain or make me more money.
Right.
So let's take a station identification break.
We know you rely on your CRM system, and it's usually a love-hate relationship. Most CRM systems, well, let's face it, they're expensive. They're hard to understand. People don't use them properly. And you're probably paying for features that you don't even want. If that's your case, then maybe it's time to simplify. It's time to get more from your CRM. Why don't you go back to the original? Trust Goldmine. We helped pioneer the industry after all. Goldmine CRM is, well, it's simple, it's affordable, and it's proven. If all those sound appealing to you, if you're just tired of the CRM headaches that you're getting from trying to implement something that's just too complicated, too expensive, and too much for you to figure out, then why not go back to the original? Visit Goldmine today, goldmine.com.
We are on CRM Radio, part of the Funnel Radio Group on Funnel Media, LLC. And I'm Susan Finch. I'm your host today. And my guest today is Danielle Miller from Miller Media Management in Maui. That's a lot of M's.
It is.
But she is my go-to person when it comes to configuring and deciding where to spend advertising dollars for my clients, whether they're B2B or B2C, whether we need to take it to Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, wherever it is, or a combination of all of them, and to see where the focus should be. Danielle has no bias towards any social media venue. She just wants what works best for her clients, because if they look good, she looks good. So Danielle, let's continue this conversation.
Definitely. Well, we hit on some super awesome points in the beginning of the conversation in terms of being able to target your audience, and I wanted to dive deeper into that targeting. So regardless of whether or not you think that your ideal audience is on Facebook, what if you were to say, hey, I'm going to create a Facebook audience of everybody who has visited my website, right? So the people who have been to your website are likely to be potential customers for you. They whether they came across your website because of a Google search, or you handed them a business card, they typed in your website name, they ended up on your website. And what Facebook allows you to do is put what they call a Facebook pixel on your website, and that will create an audience of all the people who have ever visited your site or have visited it in the past 6 months.
So that's in essence a cookie? Is that a cookie? Is it the same as a cookie?
It is a cookie, yes.
Okay.
It's the same thing as a cookie, and it's actually completely free to set up. So once that audience hits 1,000 people, once you have 1,000 people who have visited your site in the past 6 months, then you can actually run Facebook ads to them. You can start boosting your Facebook posts to them. You can run follow-up material. So now you can send those people an invitation to your upcoming event or to join your email list. And that is a unique power that I see working extremely effectively on Facebook.
Okay, so I see many clients and friends and other companies that I visit their sites, and I view their code because that's what I do. And they don't have that in place mostly. They all think that if they just put the follow up there at the top, that that's enough. The link to the Facebook, asking for them to click and go do something else and get away from your website, rather than letting them stay focused on what they're there for. And later on, you can go back and reach them through another venue.
Yes. Yes, and the pixel is surprisingly easy to set up. I mean, I've set up pixels on somebody's sites in less than 15 minutes. So once that code is on there, then you're able to go and create Facebook ad audiences of, say, your 7-day website traffic, your 90-day, 180-day. And one of the things I love about being able to retarget them is actually you can get really, really specific. So if your company offers multiple levels of service or helps different industries, let's say your B2B company offers services for construction industries, event planners, and the food and beverage industry. Based on the different pages of your website that talk to those specific segments of your target market, you can actually create audiences of just those segments. So you can create an audience of people who have seen a specific page of your website. So now you have all your contractors in one group, and the Facebook ad they get speaks to that customer differently than the one the event planners receive.
What I noticed too is the other disconnect on that type of campaign is people forget how important it is to continue that journey all the way through. Okay, through Facebook, you're sending them something, and they're kind enough to not say, don't show me this stuff anymore, or take that time, because you can do that. Mm-hmm. But they're clicking to say, I want to know more. And you're sending them what? To your homepage. People, stop that. You've gone through all this trouble. You already actually kind of have a little relationship with them now.
Yeah.
You know more about them than you normally would. So if they're coming from that, you got to fulfill that journey and that expectation of the journey. Can you kind of expand on that? Because I know that's a big hot point with you.
Oh my gosh, it's such a hot point with me. And super specific, as a really clear action point, an example of where people don't do this well is that call to action button on their Facebook page will send people to their homepage when it says, like, contact us. And I'm like, oh, you're kidding. How about send me to your contact us page that shows me a couple of awesome testimonials and gives me a short snippet of your of what you're offering. So, like, be very intentional with where you send them, and then think about the next step. So once somebody comes from Facebook, they land on that page that's specifically for contractors, that speaks to the contractor and their pain points. Maybe you're saying things like, you know, we can help you have a stronger reputation in the community and build up your business and get more customer reviews. You know, you're saying things that are really important to contractors. And at the bottom of that page, there's a call to action, right? Whether it's join my email list or sign up for this free event or contact us to schedule an appointment. And then there's if you don't want to take that call to action, here's some other things you can keep doing for free that lead you further down my funnel.
Right.
So blog posts that you should read, videos that you should watch, keep their attention. Now that cookie, though, just like we do with other types of cookies, we'll track that journey as well. So you can say, okay, these are the ones that went the further steps. So now I'm going to send them something a little bit different. Absolutely. You can not only create the audiences of them through what points in the journey they've been to, you can also do what they call conversion optimization. So you can run an ad where Facebook will do all the work of figuring out who's more likely to make it to step 3 in your process, because you know step 3 is the critical component. So that's where you get another layer of trackability and effectiveness with any advertising that you might do through Facebook. So I think this, you know, what you've covered here, and this time flies on these shows. Yeah, it does. Is that disconnect that most people have. Is like, well, how do I know, how do I get them from the people that have gone to my site to Facebook? You just gave them that answer. And if your marketing teams don't know this yet, it's okay, but they need to now. And now there's no excuse to not implement this free tool that Facebook offers, to optimize it, to have that deeper conversation with them and provide more goodies for them to entice them to trust you. So you don't have to wait till they like something that you've done on LinkedIn or on the company page there, because that's so deliberate that they go there. This is just Facebook, and they're getting served ads based on the fact they've gone to your site or searched for you. So it's one more path to get them into your pipe. And so, I mean, that's the whole thing, is building this nice quality pipeline of leads. And, if you're really stuck, you contact Danielle. Just because she's in Hawaii doesn't mean she won't help you if you're somewhere else. And she does it for clients in many states. So I know that she can handle any market and knows how to drill down the needs. So she's a great person. If you got some time, why don't you invest with an expert that knows how to guide you at least? And maybe you'll learn how to do it yourself. But you need to start with what's free, what's available, and not think, it's not me, that doesn't fit my company, I'm B2B. So we're going to dispel that myth, right, Danielle? We're going to blast it out. Yes, from this moment forward, that myth is kaput. So what do you have coming up? Don't you have some events coming up? I do. Actually, this coming weekend, I'm speaking at the Savvy Experience in Arizona. And following that, I'm actually launching a course. So to empower companies who have a marketing team who aren't quite sure how to use these tools, I'm launching a course that is a video training on how to do everything from optimize your Facebook page to boost posts better so you can make smarter investments, and then running full-blown ad campaigns. And the video tutorials walk them through step by step how to install that pixel, how to create those audiences we talked about, how to then run ads based on those audiences. And so I'm super excited about that. That's called the Clicks and Conversions Classroom. And it will open for registration August 29th, but then I will have it available on my website well after that. So we'll add some links in the post for this show. I'll add some links to it, because it sounds like some really handy tools as well that I'd want people to share and sign up for your newsletter so they could at least get in your pipeline to see, what does Danielle have that she'll even give me for free? And what size businesses are you targeting for these courses? Well, for these courses, the instruction that's provided in them is typically for a company that is at the point where they're investing a good amount of money in their marketing every month. So whether you're investing a minimum of $500 in advertising all the way up to, say, $5,000 in advertising, that's if that is your monthly advertising budget, then this course is going to help you use that money and that investment more effectively.
Terrific. All right, everybody. So this has been Susan Finch with CRM Radio, part of the Funnel Media Group. You can catch us every Thursday where we broadcast live for our streams and our shows starting at 9:30 a.m. on Thursdays at specific time. You can find us at funnelradio.com. And crmradio.today is where the replays for this show will be, as well as Funnel Radio. This has been, like I said, Susan Finch, and my guest has been Danielle Miller of MMM.
Yep. Socialmedia.com.
I got caught up in the M's. MMM. So, socialmedia.com. And you can find out everything. Subscribe to her, find her on other venues. Just get to know her and learn from her before you decide to pick up the phone and talk to her and hire her. So it's been a pleasure to have you, Danielle. I always enjoy our visits and I always learn so much from you. So thank you so much for being a guest.
You're so welcome. This was a blast. I can't wait to help everybody here with their follow-up questions. So thank you.
You're welcome.